Hello everyone and welcome back to the practical series. Today we are going to see some prescription and CCR related to tuberculosis and leprosy. Okay. Before starting the prescription and CCR, we are going to study what are the symptoms, what are the risk factors and the key points in the treatment of tuberculosis and leprosy. Tuberculosis is the infectious disease primarily affecting lung parenchyma is most often caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It may spread to any part of the body including the meninges, kidney, bones and lymph nodes. Okay, tuberculosis is the infectious disease primarily affecting lung parenchyma and is most often caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Tuberculosis risk factors the risk factors are close contact with someone who have been active TB, then immunocompromised status, it may be the elderly one or cancerous patient, drug abuse and alcoholism, people lacking adequate health care, pre-existing medical conditions like diabetes mellitus, chronic renal failure, immigrants from countries with higher incidence of TB, occupational healthcare workers. Okay, all these are the risk factors for tuberculosis. Now we will move towards the latent TB infection, also known as LTBI. Latent TB infections occurs when someone has been exposed to TB but has no signs, symptoms or radiographic evidence or current active disease. Okay, latent TB infections occurs when someone has been exposed to TB but has no signs, symptoms or radiographic evidence of current active disease. If it is untreated, approximately 5% of the persons with LTBI develop active TB disease within 2 years of infection. Okay, if it is untreated, approximately 5% of the patients with LTBI develops active TB disease within 2 years of infection. TB disease develops in an additional 5% of the persons with LTBI over their remaining lifespan. Adequate treatment of LTBI can reduce the risk of disease. Symptoms of tuberculosis include anorexia, low-grade fever, night sweat, fatigue, weight loss, bloodstreak, productive cough. Okay, the symptoms of tuberculosis, they are anorexia, low-grade fever, night sweat, fatigue, weight loss, bloodstreak, productive cough. Test may include sputum examination and cultures, biopsy of the affected tissue which is rarely done, then bronchoscopy is done, then chest CT scan, chest X-ray, interferon gamma release blood tests such as the QFT. It is a gold test to test for tubercular infection. Now we will see what it does. Okay, one of the main reason for therapeutic failure has been the patient poor compliance after having a symptomatic relief. Okay, one of the main reason for therapeutic failure of the tuberculosis treatment is the patient poor compliance after a symptomatic relief. Okay, the revised National Tuberculosis Control Program therefore recommend the directly observed therapy using short course DOTS. Okay, the revised National Tuberculosis Program Control Program, therefore, that is RNTCP, it recommends the DOTS therapy known as directly observed therapy using short course in 1997 based on the anti-TB treatment guidelines advocated by WHO in 1995. Okay, in DOTS program, the anti-TB drugs are given under direct supervision of the medical professional. Okay, in this DOTS program, the anti-TB drugs are given under direct supervision of the medical professional 3 days a week to ensure the best possible result. Okay. Here, the observer watches and assists the patient in swallowing the tablet. Okay, here the observer watches and assists the patient in swallowing the tablets, thereby ensuring that the patient receives the medications. Many patients who do not receive medication under DOTS, they stop taking the drugs after 2 months, and because of it leads to the therapeutic failure. Okay, many patients who do not receive the medication under DOTS stop taking the drugs after 2 months as they feel better, and which may lead to therapeutic failure of the therapy. Okay, so it is very necessary to take the drug under the supervision. Key points in the treatment of tuberculosis. This includes the therapy must contain 2 or more drugs to avoid development of resistance. Okay, the drug must be taken regularly. Strict drug compliance is needed. The drug therapy must continue for a sufficient duration to achieve adequate therapeutic results. Next is classification of antitubercular drugs. These are classified into first line drugs, second line drug and third line drugs. Okay. So the first line drugs are bactericidal, which includes isoniazid, rifampicin and pyrazinamide. And bacteriostatic is ethambutol. Okay, first line drugs all are bactericidal except ethambutol. Okay. Second line drugs, it includes bactericidal drugs, that is streptomycin, amikacin, capreomycin, kanamycin and fluoroquinolones. And bacteriostatic are ethionamide, cycloserine, thiacetazone, para-amino salicylic acid. Okay, all these are second line drugs. Third line drugs are clarithromycin, clofazimine, linezolid. Okay. Here the second line drugs and third line drugs, they are used for multi-drug resistant tuberculosis and extensively drug resistant tuberculosis. Okay, second line drugs and third line drugs, they are used in multi-drug resistant tuberculosis and extensively drug resistant tuberculosis. A single drug should never be used to treat TB. Okay, keep in mind, a single drug should never be used to treat TB, as this leads to the rapid development of drug resistant tubercular bacilli. Okay. Here is the prescription for pulmonary tuberculosis for adult weighing 46 to 70 kg. Okay, before writing a prescription, you have to mention the doctor detail, then patient's information, give RX symbol and start writing the prescription. The treatment is mainly given in two phases, intensive phase and continuation phase. Intensive phase followed by continuation phase. This continuation phase also known as sterilizing phase. In intensive phase, 4 to 5 bactericidal drugs are used for a period of 2 to 9 months. In intensive phase, 4 to 5 bactericidal drugs are used for a period of 2 to 9 months with the aim of rapidly killing the bacteria to bring about symptomatic relief and to minimize the chances for developing resistance. In the continuation phase, it lasts for the continuation phase lasts for 6 to 24 months. Okay, continuation phase, it lasts for 6 to 24 months, during which the remaining bacilli are eliminated to minimize the chances of relapse. The duration of intensive phase and continuation phase may vary according to the category of the patient. So here the drugs given are in intensive phase, tab isoniazid 300 mg, capsule rifampicin 600 mg, tab pyrazinamide 1500 mg, tab ethambutol 1200 mg, tab pyridoxine 50 mg. All these are given orally once daily for 2 months. And this is followed by continuation phase, which includes tab isoniazid 300 mg, capsule rifampicin 600 mg, tab ethambutol 1200 mg, tab pyridoxine 50 milligram once daily orally for 4 months. Follow up after each month for assessment and appearance of side effect. Okay, then give the write down your sign and registration number below. There is also another intermittent thrice weekly combination drug therapy. Okay, this is the daily combination drug therapy. There is also another intermittent thrice weekly combination drug therapy. In this regimen, the drugs are administered under supervision intermittently thrice weekly. Supervised administration is mandatory when drugs are prescribed thrice weekly. Okay, rifampicin, it inhibits the bactericidal DNA dependent RNA polymerase and thus blocks the RNA synthesis. Patient on rifampicin therapy should be told that their urine, feces, saliva, sputum, tears, sweats, and even contact lens may turn harmless orange red. This is the instruction we should give to the patient when we are prescribing rifampicin. Okay. The patient's urine, feces, saliva, sputum, tears, sweats, and even contact lens can turn harmless orange red. Pyridoxine, it is given to prevent peripheral neuritis. Next, moving towards our next CCR. This is case number 3 in your journal. A 32 years old labor weighing 55 kg moves to clinician with complaint of cough with expectoration and low grade fever in evening since 5 months. He also complained of weight loss, anorexia and apathy. After a thorough investigation, he is diagnosed having pulmonary tuberculosis. Now he has been put on anti-tubercular drugs. He has never taken anti-tubercular treatment before. Thus, as a fresh sputum positive case CAT1 of ATT has been started, carefully read the prescription of the patient, criticize and rewrite the prescription. Okay, here the drugs given are tab rifampicin 300 mg, 1 tab alternate day for 1 month, tab isoniazid 500 mg, 1 tab daily for 1 month, injection gentamicin 100 mg, 1 injection intramuscular for 30 days, tab paracetamol 500 mg, 1 tab as and when required. Okay, moving towards our answer. First one, the dosage form of a rifampicin is wrong over here. It is available in capsule form and not as a tablet form. The dose of rifampicin is also wrong. Dose is 600 mg to be taken daily. Okay. The dose of isoniazid is also wrong. Its dose is 300 mg daily. It causes pyridoxine deficiency, which present itself as a peripheral neuritis. Okay, isoniazid, it causes pyridoxine deficiency which presents itself as a peripheral neuritis and other neurological manifestations like paresthesia, numbness, mental disturbance and rarely conversion. It's also always prudent step to give vitamin B, that is pyridoxine, 50 mg per day prophylactically with anti-tubercular drug regimen. Okay, pyridoxine is added in a dose of 50 mg per day as a prophylactical treatment. Okay, third one, gentamicin, it is an aminoglycoside antibiotics which is ineffective against tubercular bacilli. Okay, so we can't use gentamicin over here. Instead of gentamicin, streptomycin is used, which is very effective in action. So here the correct prescription for pulmonary tuberculosis is, the drugs given are in intensive phase, tablet isoniazid 300 mg, capsule rifampicin 600 mg, tab pyrazinamide 1500 mg, tab ethambutol 1200 mg along with pyridoxine 50 mg once daily orally for 2 months. Okay, it is followed by continuation phase which includes tab isoniazid 300 mg, capsule rifampicin 600 mg, tab ethambutol 1200 mg, tab pyridoxine 50 mg once daily orally for 4 months. Follow up after every month for assessment and appearance of side effect. Write down the sign and your registration number. So moving towards our next topic, that is leprosy. Leprosy is a chronic granulomatous infection caused by an acid-fast bacilli, Mycobacterium leprae, which is related to tubercular bacilli. Okay, leprosy, it is a chronic granulomatous infection caused by an acid-fast bacilli, Mycobacterium leprae, which is related to tubercle bacilli. Mycobacterium leprae cannot be grown on culture media, so drug sensitivity testing in vitro is not possible. Okay, Mycobacterium leprae cannot be grown on culture media, so drug sensitivity testing in vitro is not possible. Mycobacterium leprae lie within the macrophages and remain dormant but alive. Okay. Leprosy is transmitted from person to person when bacilli are shed from the nose and skin lesion of the infected patient. Okay. it then affect the peripheral nervous system, the skin and various tissues. Here is the classification of leprosy. These are classified into tubercular leprosy, also known as paucibacillary leprosy, and lepromatous leprosy, also known as multibacillary leprosy. Okay, tubercular leprosy or paucibacillary leprosy. In this, only one or very few lesions are seen, whereas in multibacillary leprosy, multiple lesions with millions of bacteria per gram of tissue are present. Okay. Here in paucibacillary leprosy, bacilli are rarely found in biopsy. Lepromium test is positive. Okay. In multibacillary leprosy, skin and mucous membrane have numerous bacilli. Lepronium test is negative. Choice and duration of the therapy for leprosy is approximately 99.9% of leprosy bacilli are killed about 3 to 4 months by dapsone or clofazimine. Okay, approximately 99.9% of leprosy bacilli are killed in about 3 to 4 months by dapsone or clofazimine given daily, and within 3 to 7 days by rifampicin given in a single dose of 600 mg. Some bacilli may still persist for a long time. Okay, this is because though drug sensitive, the bacilli are not metabolically active. Okay, why some even giving the treatment, why some bacilli can persist for a longer time? The reason is, though drug is sensitive, the bacilli are not metabolically active. Okay, these bacilli are not metabolically active, and which may cause the leprosy again. This persisters can cause relapse over 3 to 30 years. Okay, this persisters can cause relapse over 3 to 30 years. So far, no drug given alone can eliminate all persisting Mycobacterium leprae. Hence, combination of a drug is recommended. Okay. So far, no drug given alone can eliminate all the persisting Mycobacterium leprae. Hence, combination is necessary. Okay. So, why the combination is recommended? First one is to prevent drug resistance to monotherapy. Second, eliminate persisting organism, and third is reduce the required duration of effective therapy. Classification of anti-leprosy drugs. These are classified as sulfones, which include the dapsone, phenazine derivatives, that is clofazimine, antitubercular drug, rifampicin, antibiotics like fluoroquinolones, which includes ofloxacin, sparfloxacin, pfloxacin, macrolides, which includes clarithromycin, tetracycline is minocycline. Okay, all these drugs are used in leprosy. Moving towards our prescription, paucibacillary leprosy for a weight of 50 to 70 kg patient. Give over here the doctor's detail, patient's detail, give RX symbol and start writing the prescription. The prescription include dapsone 100 mg per day unsupervised for 6 months. Capsule rifampicin 600 mg once month under supervision for 6 months. Regular follow-up every month is necessary. This is a WHO recommended treatment. However, Indian experience suggests that for the best result, the duration of dapsone therapy should be extended to 12 months. In this prescription, we have given 6 months, but according to the Indian experience, it suggests that for the best result, the duration of dapsone therapy should be for 12 months. WHO also recommends one-time dose for treating a single skin lesion of paucibacillary leprosy, which includes rifampicin, ofloxacin and minocycline. Rifampicin in a dose of 600 mg, ofloxacin in a dose of 400 mg, minocycline in a dose of 100 mg. All are taken together, and this therapy is known as ROM therapy. ROM. R stands for rifampicin, O for ofloxacin and M for minocycline. Okay. In pregnancy, leprosy is exacerbated, so it is important to continue the treatment with dapsone, rifampicin and clofazimine. In pregnancy, the leprosy is exacerbated, so it is important to continue the treatment with the dapsone, rifampicin and clofazimine. Dapsone, it inhibits the bacterial folic acid synthesis and it is thus a leprostatic drug. Rifampicin, it is already studied in your theory lecture. It is a bactericidal drugs. Active against it is a antitubercular drugs, and also it is used in Mycobacterium leprosy. It is a bactericidal drug. Our next prescription is multibacillary leprosy for a weight of 50 to 70 kg. Before writing a prescription, write down the doctor's detail, patient's detail, give annex symbol and start writing the prescription. The drugs given are Dapsone 100 mg per day self-administer, capsule Rifampicin 600 mg once a month under supervision, tablet clofazimine 50 mg daily, self-administer, and 300 mg once a month under supervision. All drugs for 1 year. Follow up after every month for assessment of a response. Here clofazimine, it is a phenazine dye which binds preferentially to the mycobacterial DNA to inhibit mycobacterial growth. Okay, clofazimine, it is a phenazine dye which binds preferentially to the mycobacterial DNA to inhibit mycobacterial growth. It is a leprostatic drug with anti-inflammatory property. So thank you all of you. Write down on the prescriptions in your journal and also copy down the CCR, and also all of you take care.